Welcome to an unedited meeting for bum ba da bum 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 bum. Bam.
Your word.
I'm hoping that'll autofocus because our faces are in it. Here, hide your face, so maybe it'll like. So this is my book coming out September 10th. This whole video is going to be a shameless plug for my book. How'd you look? I saw you gauging a little.
Not my favorite.
Look that you have going?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you call this? I call this
disheveled. I
call this disheveled designer. Ooh, you like the alliteration, don't you?
I love alliteration.
Yeah, you really do. Hey, do you want to know a fun fact about this book that I have right here in my hand?
Keep talking. I'm definitely not annoyed by the sound of your voice. Keep going.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Do you want to know a fun fact about this specific copy of this book?
What?
There's
You made it.
Nothing on the inside.
What is it?
It's just like a little mock-up for the cover, the final cover. So there's nothing on the inside. Isn't that fun?
But what is...
Don't worry, if you buy the book, it'll have words on the inside.
So you didn't make that? The publisher made that?
Yeah, the publisher made that. Can I have my
They
lappy?
just have like
It's right
blank
over there.
books?
I don't know how that works. I don't know how any of this works. All right, let's get you caught up to speed. If maybe this is the first video you're ever watching of ours or you have no clue what's going on, I'm Jason Zook. I wrote a book. That rhymed. It's book number 2 for me. I wrote a book back in 2014 called Creativity for Sale. I self-published it, did that whole rigmarole. This book I actually wrote in 2016, but it went through like some editing, and then I did a Dear Book Publisher website to try and get a book agent or publisher in a unique way. Ended up getting an agent, led me to getting published by Running Press, and the book changed titles from
Do It Differently
to Own Your Weird, which is what you see here. So this meeting is actually all about the marketing plan for the book, the website specifically, I think is going to be the bulk of this conversation, and then kind of just like getting a to-do list up for me. But part of the excitement of this as well is we have a new camera setup, which is fun. So we'll see how that goes.
Hi, I'm Caroline Zook. I'm Jason's wife. I'm also here.
Aren't we in like a time of empowerment? Like you do it yourself, like you just like come to the table. Yeah.
That's why I said hi. It's me. Didn't I sound empowered?
Not with any disdain in your voice, that's for sure.
I am here because I will be doing the website for your book.
Holy crap, it's warm already.
You're going to be okay.
Wow.
It's okay.
I'm already really warm.
I will be designing the website, and so...
And giving some thoughtful
and really,
ideas.
Website is... what we mean by that is just a page on our regular website.
Yeah, it's basically like the marketing page for the book.
And that's what... And so this conversation is to talk about that as well.
Yeah. All right, so where to start? So maybe let's just go over the things that we want to cover
Shouldn't we do our project values?
Ooh, we should do project values. Wow, 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 wow. All right, project values.
Well, you look that up.
No, I don't have to look it up. I'm just...
Oh, well, I was just going to tell everybody, in case you missed it, we did was that an unedited meeting or a podcast?
That was a podcast.
We did a podcast episode a little while back where we decided to come together, and because we had some friction working together on certain projects, which we live together, we work together, we're married, like it happens, but we're always looking for opportunities to better communicate and to make things go more smoothly. So we came together and said, how can we make this better? And we kind of came up with a little format for ourselves about just getting on the same page in terms of shared values for any project that we do. Yeah. And we have found that getting on the same page before you go and do the work is really key in making sure that miscommunications don't happen or expectations are different or whatever.
Yeah. All right, so the first question is, I don't have the questions for our project values, so we're just going to see if we remember them. It's a good test for us. They're written down on paper. I wrote them down on paper. They're in a notebook.
This is why we don't do paper.
Oh. But I know the first question, which is, who is the chef and who is the sous chef?
Who's the chef and who's the sous chef? You are the chef.
All right, Jason.
Head chef, Jason.
Jason, chef. Carol.
I am the sous chef. I am here to support you in all your dreams and...
We call that a Susan chef because it's just fun to say.
That's called a Susan.
Plaxico's usually our Susan. By the way, if you hear some dog snoring, Plaxico, our dog, is snoring away. All right, so the second thing is I think it's the outcomes question. So like, what do we want for this?
What are you hoping to get out of this?
So I'm hoping that we have a good plan of attack for you to build the website over the course of the next week and a half-ish. I'm hoping that I have some to-dos on stuff that I need to think about for the book itself. And then just coming away with this, like excited to work on this and then build up to the launch of it September 10th.
Great.
Cool. Okay, so website plan, email marketing plan I'll throw in there as well because we'll talk about that, and general lead up plan. Okay?
Okay. I know the next question has to do with, like, now what do we want the experience to be like?
Right. I feel like that's kind of a weird question that we threw in there because we want the experience to be the same thing every time. Like, never are we like, I want the experience of this meeting to suck. I just want it to be miserable and hot and stuffy.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like, sometimes we prioritize fun.
Right.
Sometimes we prioritize, like, I want to feel creative. Like,
Well,
sometimes...
I think if we're being honest, you're not feeling 100% today. So I think we want this to be succinct and fun.
And fun. Yeah. And I think I don't know if this falls under a question, but something that has been on my mind since you brought up this meeting that I wanted to share with you before we get into the weeds of it is that when I was doing my book marketing process, it was not my favorite thing to, like, come up with marketing ideas and, like, have, like, it felt very cumbersome to me, and I had to do it by myself, and, like, it wasn't my favorite thing. And so if
I would have helped you if you would have asked.
Okay. Maybe you would have, but like, what I want to share with you is that I am here to support you, and I'm happy to offer, like, creative ideas and to bounce ideas off of and stuff. But I just don't want to have the expectation set for me to do the majority of the creative heavy lifting on the marketing ideas.
Yeah, that's fine. I actually, for this, like, I don't think there is a big marketing idea for this. Like,
okay, so we're just going to focus on the website.
Yeah,
okay.
Like, I'm happy to go over my podcast plan, which is pretty much already done. Some publicity stuff that the publisher's doing, which is awesome. And then for the rest of that, I mean, we're really just kind of, like, leaning on the audience that we've already built. So there's no big, huge shakeup. Like, I've already done 2 weird things for this project, and it's not like I'm, like, tapped out. I just have done a lot already.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to tell you where I was coming from on that.
Carol doesn't want to do marketing. Just putting that down as, no, just for this project.
And then I think as far as the website goes, we already talked about it. Like, I am really happy to, like, execute on the creative ideas, but I don't want this to be like you run wild, like, here's a blank page and, like, just go. This is not a place that I'm looking for, like, creative freedom. This is a place that I'm looking for, I'm happy to offer up my skills to support you.
I kind of look at this as, like, you're going to ask me questions about the website, just in general things. And then after this meeting, I'll probably just go through and find some sites that I like and things I like. Like, I have some now that I've already found and some elements and stuff like that. But I don't think we're going to, like, flesh that out here just because it's going to be difficult to do that. It's a very visual thing. So, cool. Wow. Marriage. Okay. All right. I think that's it for project values. We're good?
Good.
Try and keep the fun above 75%. What percentage are you at now? Being honest.
80.
Really? I would have said 76.
I gave you some room.
Yeah, I'm probably at 87, I would say.
Is it mostly because of the heat?
The heat, and I've been up since 4:30. So,
That's
I could have used an afternoon coffee, but I decided I didn't want to do that. So, whatever.
Aww.
Okay. Awesome. So that's where it starts. Do we want to go over the things that I have already done marketing-wise, or do you just want to jump into website stuff? I know I'm chef, but
that's a question for
the viewers.
The people.
Well, that's
going
to be weird.
No, that's
Will
a
you guys
question.
Answer?
That's a question for you in terms of the viewers. Like,
All
do
right,
you think it's helpful?
Let me go over what is already going on, because maybe that'll also help, like, get your wheels turning on all this stuff. So I personally did podcast outreach. So let's talk about marketing for the book first. So the book is done. Like, it's done. It's published. It's up on Amazon. It'll be up for sale September 10th.
Give us the quick elevator pitch. What's the book about?
The book is about embracing your weird, your own uniqueness, all of the things in life that society tells you should be done a certain way. You should question all of that. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't necessarily do that if some things are the right way to do them, like having a savings account. Like, you shouldn't have to, like, question that and never do that. But it's just question the motivations of why and how those things are done and make sure that they apply to your life. So in the book, I explore all the different things that we've been through together. So minimalism, friendships, social media, business, just your own personal kind of, like, presentation of yourself in the world. So, yeah. Did I do a good job?
Yeah, you did a great job.
Great. Yeah. I just think it's about everybody has their own weird quirks. And one more thing, like, all the people that I think we look up to us and you watching this, we look up to those people because they are weird. So it's like anyone that you can think of, like Liz Gilbert, like she is weird. Like she's a weird person. She has isms. She has things that you like. Like what are some quirks of Liz Gilbert that you like?
So many. Just that she's like super honest and like, you know, like isn't afraid to be herself and like dances and like writes letters to herself and like, you know, does
Yeah, so it's like all those things. Like it's not just because she's a great author. It's those things that make it interesting. So I just think that for all of us, if we embraced all of those things, it would make a lot of the different parts of our lives a little bit easier. So anywho, so that's the book.
That's
Amazon,
a dog fart,
all the
folks.
things.
That is.
Oh, you got one?
That is one dog fart for the old.
For the counter?
Yep.
If I was editing these are unedited meetings, so I don't edit them. Ooh, that feels nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If only we had some grapes as well, and then like, you know, like some type of like lounge.
It's just like for some reason you with this furry like pillow is funny to me.
It's like we call it the porn pillow.
We call it the porn star
Yeah, it's the
pillow.
porn. No, I just called it the porn pillow.
I call it the porn star pillow because it just makes it less weird.
Porn pillow. Okay, so that's the book. So let's go over what is already going on. So I have 14 podcast interviews, I think, already set up on my calendar. Those are all people I already knew, people I've already talked to before.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a good amount of people. So like the Minimalists, Mixergy, my buddy Matt, who has a podcast called Money Lab, Pixels of Separation, not Six Pickles of Separation. That's
Which is
different.
a new brand we'll
That's
be starting
just about pickling.
very
That's a
soon.
podcast about pickling. 6 Pixels of Separation, The Productivityist. There's a bunch of other ones. So all those are already locked in, scheduled, ready to go. We're going up to LA end of August. So this will go up probably like beginning mid-August.
Forgot we were doing that.
So we're going up.
Exciting.
Yep. So we're going to hang out with our buddy Matt Diavella. He's going to make a video for YouTube about something. We already decided on the topic. I just can't think of it right now. So that's fun. That'll be a good piece of marketing for the book. And yeah, otherwise I'm just going to be then available for the publisher who has a PR company that is doing a bunch of outreach.
A lot of P's.
Lot of P's.
Publisher.
If the mic
PR
was close,
company,
we'd be popping.
Podcasts.
Popping.
Pickles.
We'd be-
Pixels. See? A lot of P's.
Pickles and pixels. So that's that. And then I'm just going to do emails to our email list. I'm going to post on Instagram. I'm going to post on Twitter.
Do all the stuff. All the normal stuff.
And that's really like, again, I've already done 2 weird projects with this. So as much as I wanted to come up with like a whole other weird thing, I'm just good. Like I think it's a great book. I think it's fun to read. So we're going to go from there.
Cool.
So there's that. You're already bored. We're only 12 minutes in, so that's not
I was
good.
hoping you weren't going to comment on that.
Yikes.
I kind of tried to hide it, but anyway.
Yikes. So, yeah, I mean, that really leads us to like having a good website that can be promoted, that can be linked to, that people can go and easily find to buy the book. But this is where we do want to have things be just like a little bit different. I don't just want to have the cover of the book, a picture of me, a bio, and then links to buy the book. Like I want the website for the book to tell a story so that when someone goes to it, they feel like they read along a little bit of like why they should buy this book or any of those things.
Yeah, but you have to balance that with like knowing that a lot of like some people might be going to like learn more, but other people are like, oh, where's the
totally.
link to buy? Like,
And, yeah, and I think that's just in the execution of how we lay out the design and everything to make it very clear of like, don't want to read any of this crap, just go to the book. Like, we could even have fun with that, right? Like, I don't want to read this nonsense on the site. Like, just take me to the buy buttons. So there's that. And then, yeah, the book website, I got a bunch of photos done with our friend Jen Wojcik, who took the photos that we have all around our Wandering Aimfully site. She did an amazing job. And so she took photos of me with the book, and her husband Caleb took a couple as well. So those will be awesome for this. And then I think we're also going to have some of the design elements from the book itself. There's a little piggy who has balloons that we'll probably use. We need to give him a
he's
name.
flying.
I haven't given him a name. No, it's a him. Well, maybe it's a she. I can't really tell. She's gender neutral.
She's gender neutral.
Yeah, she hasn't decided.
Pegasus.
It hasn't decided.
Pegasus the pig.
So yeah, we have that. We have like the cloud stuff. So yeah, we'll see.
Persimmon.
Persephone.
Persephone.
Persephone. That one's a tough one for me. I always get tripped up.
It's weird. You gotta be careful about some of those names because like you don't know their backstory and it's
Oh,
like,
right.
oh, this is the one that's like the parable about like.
Right.
You know.
You could just say it. If that's where you were going. You could just say it.
I wasn't. But I'm sure there's one that's
I'm
about
sure
that.
there is too.
Or like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. That went to a place. Anyway,
This is off to a great start.
Is it because it's so hot, like I mentioned?
A little bit. it.
Yeah,
It's a little stuffy.
Okay, so that's kind of like leading, I think, everything up to the website. So now let's talk about the website.
Okay.
So do you want to talk about things that need to be on the site, like must-haves, and then we can kind of then
Sure.
go to like more creative or fun stuff?
Sure.
So we want to have, obviously, the buttons to buy. So there's
Right.
multiple places where we have to have buttons too. So like Barnes and Noble,
Yeah.
Amazon, like all of those. I think there's like 6 of them.
Yeah.
There's going to be a section for bulk orders.
Okay.
And we haven't figured out what all of those are, but one that I thought about today, which is fun, I think, which is I think we're going to go with somewhere between like 80 and 100 books. If you buy 80 to 100 books, we will give you a Wandering Aimfully membership, like a full lifetime membership with it. Which is really cool. So it's like you get all these books, you can use them for like corporate gifts or whatever, or anything that you want. And you also can be a Wandering Aimfully lifetime member, which is a $2,000 value. So it's kind of a cool thing. I thought
And
it
then
was
you
fun.
just get awesome stuff for the rest of your life.
Then you get a whole bunch of awesome stuff. But then I think we'll also do other things under there, and I just have to figure out what those are going to be.
Okay.
So
Bulk orders.
bulk orders, buttons.
I'm guessing in the hierarchy that's not that important, but anyway, we can talk about that later.
No, just to have a section on it, yeah. Obviously, like an about the author section, I think it would be fun to do some sort of, if it fits in the site and feels like it can be congruent, like a timeline of this book, because it has been kind of interesting in how it's been done. Like,
Okay.
even the writing and getting this book published has been weird. So I think like that's a fun thing. Which might, that like timeline idea visual might also fit with like a quick thing of like my story, like all the weird things I've done in my life, kind of like we could pluck out some of that stuff. Could be interesting. And then I think it's really just kind of highlighting like some of the action steps that are in the book, some of the like topics that are in the book, and then a couple of the book blurbs that I have, because I have like 4 or 5 good book blurbs.
The topics, and what was the first thing you said? Action.
Yeah, there's little like action items in the book. I keep looking at the book, but always forgetting that this book is completely empty. But at the end of every chapter, there's a little own it item, which is kind of fun. Yeah, and then, I think we can probably come up with this stuff as we get further into design, but I would like some little weird things in there. Like on the book site that we did for my first book, the share buttons are share on Facebook, share on Twitter, share on Space Jam. And the third one just goes to the Space Jam website, and it's just, that website's still up and exists like it was built in 1998 or whatever crazy thing. So maybe just a couple fun little trinkets like that throughout the site.
Trinkets.
Yeah.
Weird trinkets.
Yeah, just little weird trinkets. So yeah.
Cool. That makes sense.
Yep. And then the
So we're both thinking like mainly this is one page, a one-pager. Like maybe, like I was thinking the bulk order stuff, like maybe that goes to an additional,
sure.
like a button that's like, hey, interested in bulk orders, just because like that's a lot of information and you don't want to like clutter up the main site.
Sure. Or it could just be at the bottom and you just have to scroll like a long ways to get it. Yeah. But I did picture this as like one, because it's, the publisher specifically asked that we put it on Wandering Aimfully, not on its own URL. I don't know why, but I was just like, okay, that's fine. So it will live on Wandering Aimfully. And once it's up, if you're watching this and it's already up, I will have updated a link in the description to you.
Do you have onyourweird.com?
No, it wasn't available. There was no simple URL that was available.
So it'll just be like Wandering Aimfully /book or whatever.
Yeah. Well, you have a book as well, so it's not fair. So it'll be wanderingaimfully.com/weird probably.
Lesser known book.
Mine is the lesser known? Oh, okay. Yeah. Book number 2.
Book number 2.
Yeah.
It's like the second child syndrome,
It's actually just book-poop emoji. Because that's how you really feel about it, let's be honest.
I do not.
I know.
I'm very proud of this book.
I mean, you basically rewrote one version of it, so...
Yeah, well, that's what our process is. You have thoughts, and then I put them into language that people can read.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So, what else? Got my list of things to include.
Yeah. This is one thing that I do want to include, and I'm glad I had this up, is a, like, press or media section, which
Oh.
could link to a different page. But it's basically like if someone in the media or like a podcaster or anybody who wanted to promote the book or like write a review or whatever,
Right.
just to have a place where they can go to get my bio, my headshot, a one-liner about the book, a longer thing about the book, and then photos of me with the book that they can download.
Awesome. And then I also was just thinking it could be cool to do like a gallery linking to all of the podcast episodes that you record about the book.
Sure.
Just because like if somebody, that's mainly more for like the super fans, but people who I know, like when Elizabeth Gilbert comes out with a new book, she does a round of interviews and I love listening to her.
Yeah.
And so I'm always like, oh, where is she? And
Yeah.
you know.
I could definitely see that on its own page linked off of the site. But like picking one of the really good interviews.
And just having a call out and then like see all.
Yeah, just like a page with like some nice, very simply laid out little cards, little things. And we could also include, I know a couple places are going to review the book, like geekmom.com.
Oh, geekmom.com.
Yeah, you know, we all shop there. But like things like that, like it'll be fun to have all those just linked there. So that in a couple years when those sites go away, we can have a bunch of dead links on our site that we have to deal with.
Love it.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, so I think that's that.
Cool. What else?
Um,
Visuals, have you thought about that at all?
I mean, visuals outside of the photos that Jen took
Well,
and like the elements on the cover of the book.
I'm just like trying to think.
Man, I am rhyming talking about.
I'm trying to think like, should it more match Wandering Aimfully's branding? Should it be look completely different and totally match the branding of the book? Like, what's the vibe there?
Yeah, I think it should.
Or a mix of two?
I think it should kind of fit the book. I think
Okay.
like when you're on the page, like it'll have the Wandering Aimfully header at the top and it'll have the Wandering Aimfully footer at the bottom. But otherwise, the space in between, I think we just like have that be the book. And I asked them about what these fonts are and all
You
that
did.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Did you ask them for the layered file?
Yeah.
You already did that?
yeah.
You're so good at stuff.
Oh man, that's real nice to say. Book dash poop emoji dash smiley face.
Yeah.
So it's a happy poop.
It's
book.
a happy poop.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's it.
And you
For
want
my list.
me to try to get this done by...
I mean, we have a lot of other things that we're working on, which is also partially why the book is not getting like a whole ton of marketing push for us, is because we have other businesses that we're working on. So next Friday, I think, would probably be what I would love to see.
Cool.
And this is going to be the first page on the Wandering Aimfully site that you're building using Beaver Builder. Good old Beaver Builder.
We downloaded. It's a software product that allows you to kind of create...
I mean, it's drag and drop page building for WordPress.
For WordPress.
And
'Cause
we've used that before. We used Divi to
Yeah,
build my
sure.
Jason Does Stuff site in 2014.
Yeah, but our whole website was custom, so we needed a solution that wasn't like a theme, but it was like a software layer on top that allows you to work within the confines of your existing template. So we're going to try to use that. And I hate the name Beaver Builder, but Jason likes to also call it Beavy Buildy, which I think is just...
Beavy Buildy.
Use some Beavy Buildy.
Yeah. So I just think it'll be interesting because we know we want to change other things on the Wandering Aimfully site, and we're not WordPress developers. You're a Squarespace wizard. So if this gives us the ability to do that, which I do think it does, because we've even played with it just on like one page. And sure, it's not the same as Squarespace by any means, but it's similar. So similar.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
It'll be a learning curve.
Worst
That's
case
okay.
scenario, it just is a picture of the book and a buy button, you know?
True.
Yeah. Okay, what else do you need from me?
That's it
Wow.
for now.
Do you have any questions that you want to ask about, like...
No, but I do want to see some of the sites that you said you like,
Ooh,
just
this-
so I can get a visual idea of what you're...
This will be fun.
I
Well,
want you to also... You're making me nervous about this stuff, because it's like, remember...
yeah, just like all we have is BB Buildy.
All we have is Baby Building.
Yeah. But like, even something like this is... It's just a background image with columns and things over it. So here, I'll just turn this around and show it to you. Like, this is just something.
This is just something.
Well, I didn't even know how to explain it, but like, I just looked at this like that was like the timeline thing, which we did on the Buy My Future site. So, you know, I don't necessarily know that.
So what do you like about this?
I like the contrast between like the dark sections, the light section. I liked the timeline on it. Yeah.
Cool.
I just kind of liked it because, like, you really, if you try and go and look for nice and well-designed book websites, it's difficult. It's hard to find good book sites. This was another that was just kind of like big impactful photos, which I think, you know, I have a bunch of, which is nice. Just some good typography, you know, playing around here. So, you know,
Like that.
it's kind of fun. And then the Authentic people are just killing it with their design stuff lately. So I just love, this is Nathan Barry's new site, which I didn't know was redone, but I really like it. So it's just like really clean, big, easy to read. You know, like these kind of big blocks are kind of fun.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
No.
Just simple.
No, not at all. And I understand the constraints of using Beaver Builder. Like, it's not your go-to thing. So if we're going to try and use that, let's not try and make it crazy. And I think the fact that we have really good photos, the fact that we have some elements that we can play with, like if we're putting Penelope, you know, throughout the site, or little balloons or something, you know, like we can figure out how to play with that and add in little clouds and other little things.
Cool.
So,
Weird stuff.
yeah. And then just try and find some weird stuff to add in. Trinkets.
Great. I think I have what I need.
Okay. I feel bad because I know that if this was like a live video, people would be like, hold on, I have questions about, like, what are you doing for this part of the book? And what are you doing for this part of the book? So I feel bad that we're not going to have that. So I'll leave this up to you guys if you're watching this and you're like, I had a bunch of questions I wanted to ask about the book marketing process, or the book promotion process, or the publicity process, or I don't know, anything else. Leave them as a comment, and maybe I'll do like a little Q&A video or something once the book is released, because this will obviously go up before that. So maybe just like a little follow-up Q&A. Maybe we'll do that live here on YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. So.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately for us, like, when we have meetings like this, like, I already know so much of what's going on because we've had conversations about it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of this has already been done. So, like, we didn't have to talk about, like, oh, what podcast do I want to do? Like, I already did all that.
Right.
Like, oh, what PR outlets? Like, we have a whole list of places that are being pitched.
Totally.
We don't know who's saying yes yet, but geekmom.com is. So we're, you know, riding that wave.
Do it.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
All right. Well, should be fun. Like I said, once this video is up, the website will probably be done.
You think so?
Yeah, because I think this is going to go up like first or second week of August. I know that's weird to say this when it's going to be up, but
Cool.
we're
Well,
recording
then-
it before that because we have to obviously have the time to design.
Well, then
and do
hopefully
it.
you'll be able to watch this and then immediately see how this, like, very short meeting translated into.
Full-on website.
Yeah, and maybe, like,
built on BB Buildy.
maybe further along in the process, we'll maybe, like, do another little recap and you can add it to the back of this.
Cool. Throw it on the back. That got weird, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Watch this. Meeting adjourned.
Aggiorno.
And this video brought to you by my book, which you can pre-order using links in the description. And thank you so
Let me
much
see this
for just doing that. It's kind of fun because now that could just be like a journal.
True.
Yeah, could just be fun. It could just be like a place to write one weird idea a day on each page, you know? All right, look at this. Look who just got up here to say goodbye to everybody. You can kind of see his little face. All right, that's it. You want to say goodbye?
Bye, guys. Sorry, I'm captivated by this cover.
Bye.
Bye.